starting to become one of the hacks that's becoming popular is the nasal breathing and mouth taping. And can you explain a little bit about like the benefits of it? Because I think when we think of mouth taping, we think of some sort of like Liam Neeson movie where our mouths are like duct tape shut and you can't breathe.
Yeah,
So like, what's the kind of the idea of it and the approach that you take to it?
Yeah, sure. So there's many benefits for nasal breathing. Nasal breathing is, mouths are for eating, noses are for breathing. That's just how our biology and our systems and physiology are meant to work. That stimulates lots of neurochemicals in our body. That stimulates the vagus nerve, which is the connection between the brain and the gut and everything else in our bodies. And that only happens through nasal breathing. And when we breathe in our sleep, most people, without realizing, will breathe through their mouth because either they are overweight or they are congested, or they've just got small nasal cavities and they struggle with that actually being open. Now, my nose has been broken multiple times from professional fighting. And when I had them, I couldn't ever breathe, so I'd always breathe through my mouth. Plus being a big, strong man, I was 125 kilos, 24 stone at some point. I was a big guy, so I was just like breathing through my mouth, and I wasn't getting any CO2 actually into my body. And it's actually, when we breathe through our nose, we get something called nitric oxide production. So nitric oxide is a vasodilator, and it really helps with our bodies giving the right amount of CO2 into the body. Now, it's not actually about getting oxygen in the body. The body's already got oxygen. It's got lots and lots of oxygen, right? We're actually over-oxygenated our bodies. What we don't have is enough CO2 in our body to release it into the cells needed, into the muscle tissues needed. So when we're breathing in our sleep and we're mouth breathing, we're actually just over-oxygenating it again. And we're actually not going into a deep enough sleep. That means we're not getting as much cellular repair whilst we sleep. And it means that we're waking up a little bit more stressed and a little bit more anxious. And you've seen the links between nitric. If you have a look in the research, the nitric oxide deficiency is one of the biggest causes of ADHD, anxiety disorders, low mood and depressions. They're all of these things are very multi-layered, of course, but one of the big things with nitric oxide deficiency is that. So honestly, you just put a thin little layer of mouth tape over your mouth, just sideways. You can still breathe either side of your mouth. And you close it down, open up your nasal cavity with maybe one of those nose breathe openers, put some silicone earplugs in and go to sleep. We want to sleep like we're in a bear cave. It needs to be cool, needs to be dark, needs to be quiet, needs to feel safe. They're the big things. So if we can hear car doors opening and slamming, or people talking in the next room, our nervous system gets triggered because it doesn't know what it is when we're sleeping, even though our brain we can actually hear it. So this really gives our bodies a chance to fully rest, open up our nasal passages, get that nitric oxide production in, and wake up a little bit more refreshed and a lot more energy. And it was such a game changer for me in my healing journey and through lots of my clients that have really struggled with mental health stuff, or whilst they're dropping lots of weight, to start using their nose whilst they sleep.
Oh wow, that's super interesting. I'm just thinking as you were talking, I'm gonna give it a go this tonight. I'm gonna get a little bit of tape, put it over the front of my lips,
Yeah, do
see
it.
how I get on.
So microspore tape, it's just a little tape that you get from like a chemist. You want quite a strong one, otherwise it will come off.